Hello everyone, welcome back to Close to Be Milkshake. I am your host, along with Sexy Legs. Give me that. Mr. Chicken, support puppet for me and you. Yay. Today we're going to read an excerpt from Disarming the Narcissist by Wendy T. Benhary. Behary. This is talking about the 18 early maladaptive schemas that can be in you and I. I'm going to read the paragraph before we get into that, just to let you know what schemas are, okay? We all have schemas, and typically more than one. They are formed in response to early and imperfect life experiences, for some traumatic experiences. In many cases, noxious events such as abuse, neglect, abandonment, chaos, or control cause schemas to become fastened to a child's emotional makeup. This, in combination with biological predisposition or temperament, ultimately sculpts the child's personality. When schemas are triggered by an event in the here and now, we become flooded with uncomfortable physical sensations and biased thoughts and engage in self-defeating behaviors. Yeah. All right. So the 18 early maladaptive schemas. In this chapter, you'll engage in a parallel process of discovery, looking at your schemas in conjunction with the narcissist, okay? You and I. To begin your personal discovery, let's examine the 18 early maladaptive schemas identified by Jeffrey Young. As you read through the material below, see if you can identify the schemas that feel true for you. Also, keep an eye out for schemas that may hold sway over the narcissist in your life. Keep in mind that in order for it to be a schema, it must be a feeling that first formed in your childhood or adolescence that carries an exaggerated realness with it. And that can be intense at times, even if it's only triggered under certain conditions and is dormant most of the time. All right, here we go. Number one, abandonment and instability. The perceived instability or unreliability of those available for support and connection involves the sense that significant others will not be able to continue providing emotional support, connection, strength, or practical protection because they are emotionally unstable and unpredictable. For example, angry outbursts. Unreliable or erratical present, because they will die imminently or because they will abandon you in favor of somebody better. Okay, so this has been the base, of my childhood. And this is what will come out in triggers, throughout our relationships, right? Number two. Mistrust and abuse. The expectations that others will hurt, abuse, humiliate, cheat, lie, manipulate, or take advantage. So this is like me projecting these things onto others that are solidified inside of me. Usually involves the perception that the harm is intentional. Yes. See, I believe in these things that I am seeing in you. Or the result of unjustified and extreme negligence may include the sense that you always end up being cheated relative to others, or that you are getting the short end of the stick. Number 3, emotional deprivation. The expectations that others will not adequately meet your desire for normal degree of emotional support. There are 3 major forms of deprivation. A, deprivation of nurturance, absence of attention, affection, warmth, or companionship. Yeah, this is childhood shit right here. B, deprivation of empathy, absence of understanding, listening, self-disclosure, or mutual sharing of feelings from others. Yes. So definitely there is no listening to me. There is no understanding of me, and there is no mutual sharing in my relationships either. This is something that Sweetie and I are needing to work on. Deprivation of protection, absence of strength, direction, or guidance from others. Yes. So it was basically figure it out yourself, erasing myself, right? Number 4, defectiveness, defectiveness and shame. Was that cough just a coincidence? The feeling that you are defective, bad, unwanted, inferior, or invalid in important respects, or that you would be unlovable to significant others if exposed. Oh, no shit. Okay. May involve hypersensitivity to criticism, rejection, blame, self-consciousness, comparisons, of course, and insecurities around others. Yes, these are the things that you will not see and that come out. Oh, their mask slipped. Fuck you, man. Stop shaming my ass. Or a sense of shame regarding your perceived flaws. Yes. I get really pissed when somebody tries to shame me. I'll rip into you. I'll tear everything down about you. So even if like you didn't mean to do that, it's going down. It's going down. These flaws may be private. For example, selfishness, angry impulses, or unacceptable sexual desires, or public, such as undesirable physical appearance or social awkwardness. I get social anxiety and, of course, body dysmorphia. All right, 5. Social isolation, alienation. The feeling that you are isolated from the rest of the world, different from other people, and or not part of any group or community. Yes. 6. Belief that you are unable to handle everyday responsibilities in a competent manner without considerable help from others. For example, taking care of yourself, solving daily problems, exercise good judgment, tackle new tasks, or make good decisions. Well, I feel like, now, I'm lazy and a procrastinator, and I would rather people do shit for me, but I'm not like, I don't want to seem weak, so there's no fucking way I'm gonna, be like, oh, will you? I have asked my sweetie to help me with like computer stuff, and also my son. But yeah, don't want to look weak. Often feels like helplessness. Okay. 7, vulnerability to harm or illness. Exaggerated fear that imminent catastrophe will strike at any time and that you will be unable to prevent it. Fears focus on one or more of the following: medical catastrophes, such as heart attack or AIDS; emotional catastrophes, such as going crazy; external catastrophes, such as elevators collapsing, being victimized by criminals, air crashes, or earthquakes. My oldest son thinks that he's going to die from a meteor crashing on his head. And he also thinks that there's something wrong with him all the time on the inside. Sorry, baby. Number 8, enmeshment, undeveloped self. Excessive emotional involvement and closeness with one or more significant others, often parents, I did this with my kids, at the expense of your individual identity or normal social development. This sounds codependent too, doesn't it? Often involves the belief that you cannot survive or be happy without the constant support of the enmeshed other. May also include feelings of being smothered by or fused with others. Sounds borderline flavor-y. You may feel a lack of significant individual identity, often experiences feeling of emptiness and floundering, having no direction, or in extreme cases, questioning your existence. Number 9, failure. The belief that you have failed, will inevitably fail, or are fundamentally inadequate relative to your peers in areas of achievement such as school, career, sports. Yes, always a competition with fucking everybody. Often involves belief that you are stupid, inept, untalented, ignorant, lower in status, less successful than others, and so on. Yes, the constant striving to be the best, but the inner feeling of not being good enough. 10, entitlement, grandiosity. The belief that you are superior to others, entitled to special rights and privileges, or not bound by rules of reciprocalness that guide normal social interactions. Yes, until I became like consciously aware of having to reciprocate, I did not even fucking think about it at all. It was just like, I'm talking and, I don't care about what you have to say. I mean, I don't give a shit anyway, but, you have to fake that shit to have normal relationships with people. This is why I prefer not to have close relationships, because it's exhausting to me just to fake that shit. But it doesn't mean that you're not a great person or a great friend to somebody else. I suck at that connection. Often involves instance that you should be able to do or have whatever you want, regardless of what is realistic, what others consider reasonable, or the cost to others. I'm very conservative when it comes to getting, buying, having my partner buy for me, I think that, and now, when I was a kid, dude, I didn't give a shit if my mom was struggling. I wanted her to buy me this, that, and the other thing. And if she didn't, I'd go steal it. Also common is an exaggerated focus on superiority. For example, being among the most successful, famous, wealthy, in order to achieve power or control, not primarily for attention or approval. It's like being in the same group. It's like, this is my people. This is my people. Sometimes includes excessive competitiveness towards or domination of others, asserting your power, forcing your point of view, or controlling the behaviors of others in line with your own desires without empathy, concern for others' needs or feelings. Yes, this is where manipulation is good. So I don't come out and straight tell you my perspective and point of view as a definite, as solidified. I let you think that you can mold me in some way, and then your guard drops. You start feeling comfortable. I'm letting you think that you're above me, and then I start to slowly turn you into my way of thinking. 11, insignificant self-control, self-discipline. Pervasive difficulty or refusal to exercise significant self-control and tolerate frustration to achieve your personal goals or to retain the excessive expression of your emotions and impulses. Yeah, restraining, right? This is huge because, it's automatic defense. When I say automatic, it's like there is no restraint. You're just letting go of your dogs and letting them attack the threat, right? And it's very painful to not let that. This is my normal. So it's very hard for me to stop it. And when I do stop it, I'm reeling, dude. I'm fucking reeling. And then I have to talk myself down off the ledge. In a milder form, you may experience a tendency to avoid discomfort, avoiding pain, conflict, confrontation, responsibility, or overexertion at the expense of personal fulfillment, commitment, or integrity. Shit, man, it is raining and windy outside. That was like a whoo. All right. 12, subjugation. Excessive surrendering of control to others because you feel coerced, usually to avoid anger, retaliation, or abandonment. There are two major forms of subjugation. A, subjugation of needs. Suppression of your preferences, decisions, and desires. So it's almost like going along to get along instead of, it's like boundary crossing, right? You're just letting, people cross your boundaries and shit just so you don't get into fights and shit like that. B, subjugation of emotions, suppression of emotional suppression, especially anger. Usually involves the perception that your desires, opinions, and feelings are not valid or important to others. Frequently, there's a tendency towards excessive compliance combined with hypersensitivity to feeling trapped. Generally leads to a buildup of anger, which then can lead to passive-aggressive behavior, uncontrolled outbursts of tempers, psychosomatic symptoms, withdrawal of affection, acting out, and substance abuse. So when you're not able to express yourself, this is what's going to happen. Reactive abuse. You are going to become abusive because you're not telling it like it is from the inside. Self-sacrifice. Excessive focus on voluntarily meeting the needs of others in daily situations at the expense of your own gratification. The most common reasons are to prevent causing pain to others, to avoid guilt from feeling selfish, or maintain the connection with others perceived as needy. Often results from an acute sensitivity to pain of others. Sometimes leads to a sense that your own needs are not being adequately met and to resentment of those that you are taking care of. Overlaps with the concept of codependency. Yes, this is why you get resentful. You get fucking angry. You are saying, I do so much for you and you don't do shit for me, right? So you have, and I have, narcissists also have a tendency to be codependent, especially in the beginning of the relationship, because they're going to give, and they want something in return, just like the codependent wants their love, So I pay attention to myself because I'm going to take responsibility. If I'm going to overgive to my partner, and so I don't resent him for not, matching that shit up. you know, you don't have to fucking do as much. I mean, be a fucking nice person and shit, but you don't have to kill yourself, you know? Approval seeking. This is number 14. Recognition seeking. Excessive emphasis on gaining approval, recognition, or attention from other people or fitting in at the expense of developing a secure and true sense of self. Yes. Your sense of self-esteem is dependent primarily on the reactions of others, yes, rather than on your own natural inclinations. Sometimes includes an overemphasis on status, appearance, social acceptance, money, or achievement as a means of gaining approval, admiration, or attention, not primarily for power or control. Yes. Frequently results in major life decisions that are unauthentic or unsatisfying, or in hypersensitivity to rejection. Number 15, negativity and pessimism. As pervasive, lifelong focus on negative aspects of life, pain, death, loss, disappointment, conflict, guilt, resentment, unresolved problems, potential mistakes, betrayal, things that could go wrong, and so on, while minimizing or neglecting the positive or optimistic aspects. I had to go and read books just to flip the switch of fucking positivity, you know, because my mind always goes to the dark side. So I'm always trying to, you know, I'm reading a book, I'm watching a fucking video, here's a video, you know, just because I need constant hits of positivity to keep me in that zone. You know, fake it till you make it. All right. Where am I? Usually includes an exaggerated expectation in a wide range of work, financial, or interpersonal situations that things will eventually go seriously wrong, or that aspects of your life that seem to be going well will ultimately fall apart. I'm more of a, when something goes wrong, I'm like doom and gloom, the sky is falling, nothing's ever gonna be better again. And then my partner's like, chill out, everything ebbs and flows. Okay. He has to remind me. Usually involves the inordinate fear of making mistakes that might lead to financial collapse, loss, humiliation, or being trapped in a bad situation. This would be like when you're being devalued also by the narcissist, you know, because we're thinking that because since we split you black when, you know, negative things happen, it's like, I'm fucking trapped in this shit. I used to think that about, you know, when I was married. And I would always tell my partner, you know, now, it's like, don't worry, I'm not trying to trap you in marriage, because I told him the other day, because then I won't be able to escape. But this is a serious fucking thing. This is what goes on, you know? It doesn't mean I don't give a shit about my partner or anything like that, but it's like, motherfucking handcuffs, dude. And I also think that it's from my past being married, you know, and I felt like there was no way out of this thing. There was no escaping this. All right. Because potential negative outcomes are exaggerated, chronic worry, vigilance, complaining, or indecision frequently characterizes your behaviors. 16, emotional inhibition. The excessive inhibition of spontaneous action, feeling, or communication, usually to avoid disapproval by others, feelings of shame, or losing control of your impulses. The most common areas of inhibition involve inhibition of anger and aggression, inhibition of positive impulses such as joy, affection, sexual excitement, or play, difficulty expressing vulnerability and communicating freely about your feelings, needs, and so on. fuck, dude. This is, all the shit that I have to work on. And excessive emphasis on rational wisdom while disregarding emotions, thinking more logically than, reacting to emotional impulses. 17, unrelenting standards, hypercriticism, criticalness. Jesus, please forgive me for my... The underlying belief that you must strive to meet very high internalized standards of behavior and performance, usually to avoid criticism. This would be like golden children. Typically results in feelings from pressure or difficulty slowing down, and in hypercriticalness towards yourself and others. Involves a significant impairment in pleasure, relaxation, health, self-esteem, sense of accomplishment, or satisfying relationships. Unrelenting standards typically appear in 3 forms. Perfectionism, inordinate attention to detail, or an underestimate of how good your performance is relative to the norm, having to be perfect. B, rigid rules and shoulds in many areas of your life, including unrealistically high moral, ethical, cultural, or religious precepts. B, preoccupied with time and efficiency so that more can be accomplished. I fucking procrastinate, dude. 18, punitiveness, the belief that people should be harshly punished for making mistakes. Involves the tendency to be angry, intolerant, punitive, and impatient with those people, including yourself, who do not meet your expectations or standards. Childhood shit. And then I fucking do this too. Doesn't it suck? It's like these things are done to you and you end up fucking doing it to your people. I know, it's fucking weird, okay? Anyway, usually includes difficulty forgiving mistakes in yourself and others because of the reluctance to consider extenuating circumstances, allow for human imperfection, or empathize with feelings. Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Fuck it. There is no forgiveness. You know how I fucking say that all the time? And yes, I also do that to myself, but it's very nice for me, at least with my disorder, that I can just fucking block that shit out. Little fucking memories will come up that are like shameful, and then I'll have like cringe moments, and then I'm just like, get away from me. All right. So I hope that was helpful. Disarming the Narcissist. Have a great day. Namaste.